Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to the Weekly Social. Today we have a special guest, Lisa Cole. She's a local musician in the Katy area. Hi Lisa.
How are you doing?
Living the dream, selling houses.
Okay. Good, and houses are selling well.
They are.
And fast.
We're marching into that time of year. Summer's right around the corner, so things are heating up in our industry. I want to say thank you for coming out today. Can you tell me a little bit about the music that you play so that we can share it with everybody that's watching us?
Well, sure. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's my honor to be here.
Oh, you're welcome.
And as far as like being the musician that I am, I've been around for a long time. Most of the people that do know me know how long I've been doing this. It's quite a bit. And what was your question going on?
What type of music do you play?
What type of music? It's music that I write, and mostly it's country music mixed with some bluegrass in there, some a little bit of blues.
Okay. We are in Texas, so that's
Absolutely
very popular music.
Oh yeah, and it's got a great fill in there. Great fiddle player in this, and the musicians on this are all local musicians. They've all played nationally with usually other artists. So,
oh wow!
And it's a tight-knit family. I was very, very pleased.
Do you tour? Do you just play locally?
Well, right now I'm looking at trying to put something together so that we can possibly tour.
Okay.
Just looking at doing promotions for the new CD, and I'm pretty open to everything right now. I'm kind of looking at the singer-songwriter. I used to do huge dance calls. I mean, huge. Played at 3,000 to 5,000 people. A
Were
night.
you a full band, or was it just singer-songwriter?
That was a full band.
Okay.
And now I'm just looking at trying to tone it down just a little bit, and maybe play with a few musicians and do the smaller venues.
Okay, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
The new CD.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired you to write this? And can you kind of give us a little backdrop to it?
Sure. Back in 2020, when real estate was on the slow side, kind of. So I reached out to some of my friends who were in the music business, and they were still doing very well. And I sat down one time with Brian Thomas, who has a studio here in Glendora, Texas. Very, very, very outstanding studio. Anyhow, we got together, and he was like, we had put some stuff together back in the mid-90s, and it was with a small record label at the time. And the studio shut down, so all the material got confiscated, and that was the material that I had written also. So, fast forward 30 years, and here we are again. We're sitting there, and he goes, "We're going to do this CD. You got some great songs," and I was, very happy that he liked it. And we sat down, and we came up with "Life's Simple Pleasures." That's the name of the new CD.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it sounds like you have a lot of history with this CD.
I do. I have a lot of, I guess it was a lot of older and young musicians I've played with for over decades, and so this is very dear to my heart, and the CD means a lot to me, and it's also, it's almost like a life story. Every song has something,
like a chapter.
personal in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And but it's I guess if you had to go to 1 to 10 levels, probably a 9 as far as being happy.
Okay.
It's not a downer CD.
That's good. Yeah, I love positive stuff.
Yes, it's very positive.
So
It's fun.
if they want to get a copy of this CD to check out, how do they get this?
Well, right now, since this is kind of new to me, I'm learning all the ins and outs of social media. You can email me at LisaColeMusic at yahoo.com, And if you'd like a copy, just email that and that you want a copy. I'll send you that, how to get it. It's the CD itself is $15, but with everything, it's costing me $5 just to mail. So it's,
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's
So
ridiculous.
that's what I said. I thought it'd be about $1.50, but I've been trying to shoot myself in the foot mailing them and getting there, and it's like, what? I'm like, $5. So anyway, it is what it is, and I can't do anything about the mail. So,
Very good. I play music myself. I'm just stealing thunder from you. But I've played drums since I was 4 years old.
yeah, we got to together.
And it really warms my soul when I get to play my drums. I don't get to play very often. My father was a drummer, and that's what attracted me to it. What attracted you to music?
So music, I think the way it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Writing is good therapy, I say. And so that was just the fact that I'm pretty much, I would say I'm on the upbeat upbeat person. I try to stay positive about everything. So I like my songs to stay positive and fun. And because there's too much bad out there to always listen to people's
Bad news is the news. It's sad.
I know. So what attracted me, I guess, I have a very musical family. Starting from on my mom's side of the family to my granddad, who used to listen to Hank Williams and all those older artists back then, who I think were still fabulous. I'm a big Johnny Cash fan.
I love Johnny Cash as well.
So I like all their music, and I think that plus my father played piano, and he was amazing. He even played on some little shows when he was growing up. They used to drive him, and he played piano for this little TV shows. So yeah, he wasn't a musician, but
No?
I mean he didn't grow up to be a musician.
Hobbyist.
Yeah.
Okay.
But back then, it was a big deal.
So when it comes to writing music, because that's something I've never done personally, do you start by playing the music and then write to the music, or do you write the lyrics and then figure out the music to the lyrics?
Everybody's different. I don't think there's a right or wrong way of doing it. Songs will just come to me, and they always have. It's very weird. But I have to write it down to get it out of my head. I actually have to write the lyrics down, or I will hum the tune in my head for days. And if it stays, I feel like, okay, that's a pretty good, tune to stay on the week.
Gravitating towards it.
Okay. So then I'll write all that down. But usually, I can write something by reading a sign. Like I did write a song on this, and it's on the CD. It's called New Joy, and it was actually on a church billing. It said New Joy, and I just happened to be driving by and I saw it, and for some reason it spoke to me, and I just wrote a song about New Joy. So it's strange how you get your ideas, but
I've spoken to a lot of musicians over the years, and I've had some where it's like they got struck by lightning, and they write it down, and within 30 seconds they got it.
Yep.
And then I've had other ones go, that was 10 years in the making. So, and that's why I'm asking the questions, because I'm just trying to get a feel for how you
go about doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that writing is the most fun. And then when you get in the studio and you're doing the development of it and you're hearing it actually come to life, you're like, whoa. I mean, you're so excited. It's like a little kid, And I love it when people go, hey, that sounds great, but what do you think of this? I like to hear people's input, and I love it. It's the creativity part that is just like, it gets me going, and I'll stay up for days just on that.
Wow.
And like when we did this CD, I just went in with my guitar, and I had a drummer and a bass player, we set it down acoustic first, and then everything else came, later. It was layered on,
Okay.
right? So we could pick and choose, what we wanted, if it worked, if it didn't work. But we already had, and I already have a vision in my head of what that song is
So you
going
have
to
the
sound
foundation.
like. Yeah.
Okay.
And so you just had to find a groove,
Right.
right? And you're a drummer, you know that perfectly.
Yep, which you can either be behind the beat, on the beat, or a little in front of the beat.
Right.
There's some different placement.
Right?
And that's what really gives the feel to the song, in my opinion.
Exactly.
And a lot of people gravitate more towards that simple 4 on the floor because they can understand it.
Mhm.
I think music needs to breathe.
Oh, so true. Yes. It can be its own.
Correct,
Mhm.
because a lot of people, and I've done some studio work over the years. They want to chop it up, spread it out, throw it on the grid, perfectly align it, and then it sounds like a robot to me.
Yes.
It's not breathing anymore. Does that make sense?
Oh, total sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally get you.
And I think that's kind of what happened to music over the years, because you were talking about the people in the 70s and even before that. Their music, it breathed.
Yeah.
And it had more of a human element to it, is my opinion.
Right.
And I think that's why they were so great and successful. And if you look at the bands in the 70s and the 80s, before all the Pro Tools, and they were cutting and splicing with tapes and stuff back then, but it was still more organic, more natural.
Right. No, I totally get what you're saying. And I think that, and to this day, if you listen to songs all the time, like the new generation does on their phones, it's so compressed. It's so compressed. You are not getting the gist of the whole song. Analog to me, I love analog. I love
An
vinyl.
album. Exactly. You
Yes.
get more music on
More
a vinyl album versus digital music. Except
Yep.
when I listen to digital music, it's like there's a channel missing if you have a mixer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's like I'm listening to it going, I know this song. I grew up listening to it, but it sounds like there's a channel missing. But when I
Yeah.
listen to it on the album,
Yeah.
you get the full effect of it.
Yeah, it's warm, you know.
It is.
Whereas,
A little
with,
gritty too.
yeah, it is. And CDs are like it expansive. They're like an expansion of the compressed sound. So another reason why I need to buy a CD.
Or
you
support
can
musicians
do
and go live. I mean, when you go live, it's a total different
Yes.
element and feel. It
Yes.
truly is.
Yeah.
I love going to live shows and supporting musicians. I was actually just in Vegas a week and a half ago seeing the
fun.
Scorpions on their 40th anniversary tour.
Wow.
Which I'm old. I remember when they were new music.
Yeah, I worked at Rockefeller's for years, and my job back then was to listen to the new music coming in, and
Talent scout?
Talent scouts, kind of, but I was not a talent scout. I was like, Don Gomez owned the place at the time,
Okay.
and
Is Rockefeller still open?
it's still open, it's still
It's
around.
been years since I've done that.
Yeah. But back when I was there, it was like the venue, the premier venue, showcase venue, and we had all kinds of acts, and I met so many of them going through that it was fabulous.
Who was some of your most memorable?
Lyle Lovett. Lyle Lovett, another one, Roseanne Cash,
Wow.
Emily Harris, B.B. King, of course, we had 5 nights of B.B. King.
Wow.
The venue, I think it had like 325 people at the time.
So it's a very intimate venue to go for a show there.
Very. And there's just, maybe, anyway, I just worked as like his secretary at the time, so I was typing the contracts back then. I used to take my son with me, and they would let me take him, up there at the time. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, when,
Very harmonious band.
when the guy, Stephen Stills, he was one that was in prison. When he got released, they came straight to Rockefeller's.
Really?
They did an event that evening, and I sat up there and listened to them. harmonizing, doing everything, getting ready for that evening show.
Deja Vu is one of my favorite albums by those guys, if you're familiar with that album.
Not that familiar with that album.
Late 60s, early 70s.
Okay.
I'm an old soul. Most of the stuff I listen to is late 60s, early 70s.
Oh yeah, it's it. I mean, my husband is the same way.
Yeah.
He's a classic rocker.
That's me.
But he says I'm his favorite country singer.
Ah, of course,
He
you
has to
should
say
be.
that if he's going to eat, right? But yeah, there's just so many venues here in Houston for live music, and
There is.
excellent musicians, and it's just you just gotta keep playing. I mean, if it's in your soul, like it is mine, I will probably be playing forever, running up and down the hill country,
That's good.
and just having a blast, basically.
When I play music, it makes me feel alive inside.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my struggles with music, because I play drums, so I have to be the timekeeper. There's nights that I can sit down and I just fall right into time, and then there's other nights I just feel like a sliver of a beat off, and it's frustrating. So, do you encompass that, and how do you overcome
Yes, for human.
Okay.
And you can, and that's why some performances at some places are like, they're so good. And others, you see them next time, they're kind of like, they're good,
that? Yeah.
and they're definitely professional level. But you miss that, whatever it was that night that they had.
Lightning in a bottle, or whatever you want to call it.
Exactly, yeah.
I call it being in the zone. It's like I
It
just
is.
feel like I'm in a zone and nothing can go wrong.
Uh-huh.
But I can only hold that for so long too. Typically, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I can play it that way.
Right?
So
But when you do feel that, and the other people are with you on stage, there's no feeling like that. I mean, you are just one. And,
Yes.
it's amazing. And that's why I think the word family and band are so, like, cohesive together, That's why people are like, oh, okay. Because if you anticipate what they're going to do,
you
what they're
feel
gonna
what they're
do.
doing before they do it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like getting married.
Yeah. Well, it's magical. It's
Mm-hmm.
but I've also played, and I felt like I was off that night. But I had 3 or 4 people come up to me and go, "Man, that sounded brilliant." I'm thinking to myself, I thought it was horrible, but
I know.
have you ran into that too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So it's like my perception versus their perspectives, 2 totally different things.
Yeah. I think maybe because, I don't know, we judge ourselves
Yeah.
more harshly than our peers do.
Sure.
And, I think that's totally part of it.
I can hear my mistakes, but typically the crowd can't hear it because they're so subtle. But to me, it stand out. Do you hear that? I mean, do you get challenged with that as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think everybody will. I don't think people like to admit it.
Yeah.
Even the pros might not, or don't like to admit it. But I'm sure even Taylor Swift has nights that she's like, what did I just do? Well, I'll just go with it.
Yeah.
Just
You
go.
can't
well,
pause. You got to keep,
No,
you gotta keep
you gotta
running.
keep going. Yeah. So those things get overlooked.
Sure.
And she might walk off the stage and be like, oh my goodness. But the crowd's like, no, it was good,
Yeah. If you listen to the Rolling Stones, "Start Me Up," that song actually starts with a mistake with the drum. That offbeat was
Yeah.
probably coming in late,
Late.
but that's what made it a signature song. Everybody thinks, "Oh man, he played that perfectly." No, it was a mistake that they just left.
Yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, pause, 1.
Yeah, and then he raced into it. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
It's fun.
but yeah, some mistakes become iconic, I guess. So.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
What do you got coming up in the future? Where are you going from here?
I can go anywhere from here because I'm starting from, in a new place, and that's right here, right now. So I have a meeting with my bass player coming up, and we're trying to talk over like what we want to do, what venues we want to play.
Okay.
Maybe like
Is there any shows coming up that we can invite everybody out
I
to?
would. I wish there was some shows coming up. There's nothing right now in the pipelines. I'm trying to get my head wrapped around. Just this was my main thing, trying to get this out. I
Well,
have.
that's a lot of commitment, focus, and dedication.
It took some years to do. Being in COVID when we first got started, and then there were some illnesses of some of these people, and then well, I mean they're good, now, but I'm just saying we wanted to wait for those people because we wanted them, that
Going
bad.
back to the band family.
Yeah, that and some own family things going on, and so but it's out. So what I don't want to dwell on the past. It's out. My husband designed everything on the CD, and I put the people that were on the CD inside as well. They're
A
familiar.
little closer to the camera so they can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
And that right there is Brian Thomas, Walter Cross, Rankin Peters, Hillary Thomas, Randy Watts, not pictured, but he definitely was a huge part. And then Wayne Animal Turner and Ari played percussion, but Wayne was Hank Williams Jr.'s lead guitar player for like around 28, 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, he's on this.
That's a lot of talent sitting there.
It's he's fabulous. He's really fabulous. Walter played with, I think Pam Tillis toured with her.
That's another big name that I haven't heard in a long time either.
Yeah, Brian Thomas played with everybody. I think he used to fly to Nashville just to do sessions with John Cash when they just needed, somebody. And
Hired them.
and then Hillary Thomas, Hillary Thomas was very instrumental in helping me stay on task on the songs and guide me through the songs that I had written, so you don't kind of go and the song doesn't go that way too. It has a focal point, so the song does. So she's very instrumental in that, and we call Hillary the Fiddle Fairy.
Yeah.
Because she's amazing. So this was done with just a lot of love for these musicians, and anyway,
The photos,
really helped.
was that photo taken here locally?
That photo was taken on the bayou in Nottingham country, actually, and
Oh, wow.
I like to go down there a lot, and I walk the bayou. And one of the songs on this is called Life's Simple Pleasures, and it's about the bayou and other things that go with it.
So
But
the
my
people
daughter
that live
shot
out-
this.
Oh, really?
Yes, she on her iPhone. She went down there and she goes, "Come on, Mom, let's go." And she says, "Quick." So that's like, okay.
True family.
Yeah, it was.
For those people outside of our local market, bayous is our drainage system down here because we sit so low.
Yeah. Yeah, and we go down there and we plant flowers along the bayou.
Okay.
So I have a group of friends that we walk with, and we'll plant flowers along the bayou and spread the little wildflower seeds and the blue bonnets, and it's a lot of fun.
A blue bonnet, that is the same flower, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
it is. It is.
So in the springtime, if you get northwest of here, there's some very beautiful areas where the countryside, it looks like it's a lake because there's so many blue bonnets.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's like Fredericksburg and around the hill country. Yeah, and there's a song on the CD. It's called Texas Homesick Blues, and I know some of you probably now are thinking, "Oh, another song about Texas," but I mean, it is another song about Texas. What can I say? I mean, you
We're
can
our own
never
country
have
here. That's right.
you can never have your too many songs about Texas, and it's basically living the dream and the way musicians look at it. Through this song.
being a musician, I mean, that's a lifestyle. It is. It's a commitment. You've got to be highly disciplined. When I was younger, I played. I belonged to some music houses in Chicago, so we would play out different clubs and venues and stuff. And that was part of the experience as a teenager, young man.
Right.
So anybody that does that, I have high regard, high respect for, because it takes a lot to get out there, and I mean, you're giving it your all for that hour or 2 hours, and
Usually 4.
4 hours.
Yes,
Wow.
usually. Yeah, when I played a lot in the big dance halls, it was 9:30, and we'd stop at 1:30 or 2.
Okay.
And then you drive home, and then you wake up the kids. And you get home about 5 and wake up the kids at 7 for school. So that, when they got older, it got harder to manage all that.
Sure.
You know? So I think that's why I dropped out of the scene for a while. But the kids can remember all this stuff. Being drugged down to the little bar stools and hanging there with the bartenders while I'm setting up, and they remember all that. It was
That's good times, though.
Oh, yeah, they remember good times. And I played the Astrodome when it was
Wow.
Astrodome. So I was one of the few that was selected to play in front of Willie Nelson and who was Clay Walker. So Clay Walker went on, then I came on, and then Willie Nelson.
Wow.
And that was in 94.
Okay.
So that was a scary thing, you know, just
That's
driving
two
up to there.
superstars that we play in front
Oh
of.
gosh, yes. And so that right there was like for me, it was, I don't even know how to describe that. It was just too cool. It was just too cool. And the audience was also too cool. They were really neat.
Speaking of, I used to get the jitters before shows, the butterflies, whatever you want to call it. And there was an older musician that sensed it on me. He walked up and says, "Hey, everybody in that crowd wants you to succeed. They don't want you to fail. It's okay, man."
Right.
And that stuck with me. And I just remind myself of that conversation every time I go to play drums, because when I get in front of people, I kind of get the jitters every once in a while. Do you experience that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, in fact, I think that if you don't feel nervous, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that that's a normal reaction, and I think that a little bit of nervousness is having that humility. I think that that's a good thing.
I mean, because when you said that you played in front of Willie,
There's 69,000 people.
yeah,
I was like,
I would
what am I doing?
I would have to talk myself out of not freezing up. You know what I mean? Because you got the superstar and then 69,000 people in front of you. That's a lot of pressure, man. I applaud you. I mean,
I think I was on cloud 9 for weeks after.
Good ball. I think that's a lot. I've never played a time that.
It was fun. I think, actually, which I think when you play one-on-one is more intimidating than when you play to the crowd, because the crowd might be going, "Hey, Peanut Man, I want some peanuts over here, or I want a Coke over here, or a beer, or whatever."
You can kind of hide within the noise.
You're like, yeah. But when you're one-on-one, or you're in a small venue, like I played Rockefeller's, and there's a very small venue, they are looking at every single thing you do. You know, what you're reaching for, or what are you
There's
looking
nowhere
at?
to hide.
There's nowhere to hide. You're up there, and that's just it.
Well, especially if you don't have a band, if it's just you with the guitar singing and
Oh,
playing
that's
the
scary.
guitar.
Yeah.
The people that can do that,
It's
man,
hard.
that's hard.
It is hard. It's so much harder playing by yourself than it is.
There's nobody for you to lean on. I
No.
mean, you're the end all be all.
Yeah. There's nobody to get that, to pick up from, too. Like if you're like you said, like if you're dragging a little off, or a little meter off, or whatever. There's nobody to say, "Hey, let's go." Well, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah, they can lean into the music and drag you along or whatever.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. But when you have a good audience, I mean, there is no stopping that. I don't know what happens, but it's like you
it's
become-
energy.
It's what?
Energy.
Energy.
I believe
Oh,
you feed off of their energy,
Uh-huh.
which makes it a heightened effect.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you have a good crowd, that just makes all the difference in the world. When they participate, all the difference in the world. And I will tell you this, Texas is a tough crowd. I have played in played in California for 3 years with Ghost Riders in the Sky, the Brits band back in the 80s, and they just love country music, and they played in all kinds of venues and dance halls, and then you come back and you can do the same thing here, but it's kind of like, show me what you got. Like
the bar's set.
Like, yeah, it's like, we would come back here and we'd be like, okay, but I tell you,
It wasn't a welcome home, is what you're saying?
well, no, I mean, when they embrace you, I'm just saying Texas is a hard market, but if they embrace you, I mean that is everything.
Yeah.
Because for me, Texas is my market. My songs, my heart, everything is from Texas. So
It's your home.
hmm But I have a lot of friends, that still I keep up with in different states. Arizona. I mean, they're everywhere. So it's so fun.
Making music today, I mean, it's amazing what people can do. They can record stuff and then just send files back and forth, and you can piece together a song and not even see one another. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I miss that.
I like it when the band gets together and they just hammer out the song collectively.
Right, collectively. That's you're getting creative from every field, and you can always do better with more heads in the game.
Strengthen them.
Strengthen them. You're so right. I mean, because I'm not going to sit there and write a song about notes. This way. I have an idea, and I want it to go along that lines. But I want somebody else to come in and say, try this, because it's just so much funner, and sometimes it's so much better, So, I mean, music is life, right?
It is. And it goes back to the beginning of time. It truly does. If you look at gongs and cymbals, and I know percussion's maybe a little more towards on that, but I mean mandolins and stuff like that. I mean, it goes back at the beginning of writing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I love the banjo. I don't really play banjo well.
yeah.
I can play with the banjo, but I don't play it well. I same with the mandolin, I don't play it well, but I can hear things on there. And actually, the mandolin is like, if you can pick up just the little things on mandolin, it really helps you with your guitar a lot. So
Fleetwood Mac teaches it.
yeah, it did.
The guitarist is
Phenomenal. Yeah.
well. We're wrapping up. One more time, if they want to get a copy of your CD,
Okay.
what was the email address so they can reach out to you?
Okay, the email address, you can go to LisaColeMusic@yahoo.com, and you can email me, and I'll be more than happy to send you the CD. If I have to mail it, it's 20, sorry. It's just because of the post office. But if you want me to drop it off or something like that, that's a possibility if you live near me, then it's 15. Thanks so much for listening.
Support her. Check out her music. You won't be disappointed. She's got some wonderful musicians that are world-renowned, world-class.
They are.
And we look forward to seeing you all next week, guys. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to get together and...
It wasn't bad, was it?
No, not at all. I have no idea what we said, but